Welcome to the Sauce Pod.
Welcome back to the Sauce Pod. I'm Taylor, your host of the Sauce. I have Anna here with me, co-host of the Sauce and content creator and editor of the Sauce newsletter. If you're here, welcome. We release a new episode wherever you stream your podcasts. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you can catch it on our website. And then you can also catch these videos on YouTube. So make sure to subscribe to the Sauce at Food Fight Studios on YouTube. And then, of course, check out our weekly newsletter that goes every week. So Monday nights, you get a little bit of secret sauce delivered straight to your inbox. You can find us on Substack, or I will link it also in the description of this podcast episode. We also hang out on Twitter quite a bit, actually. And for the next 5 weeks, we are finishing off a cohort that we've been running. I think it's 5 weeks, 12 minus 7. Yeah. So for the next 5 weeks, math is hard, numbers.
It really is.
We are going through different tactics and tips every week, kind of anchored around a theme of community building and how creators and entrepreneurs can do that for themselves. So let's get into it, Anna. We've got a lot to cover today, actually. We're going to be talking about Meta. I'm not even going to go into all the headlines because we've got like multiple headlines for each category. And you know what's funny is I feel like the categories of the stuff that we talk about every week in the Sauce continues to grow.
It does.
Right? Like we've been doing these, we have kind of like the AI scoop section now that's all about like what's happening in AI tools. There's so much new shit happening for creators. So we're like, that needs its own section. Twitter had its whole own section for a hot second. Luckily, she's cooling off and grouping back in with the other ones. She's back with the normies.
Yeah.
And of course, we've got like some sauce snippets, but I feel like we're always expanding the kind of like groupings and categories. So it's fun to see. And I don't know, one day it's just going to be like overwhelm as hopefully all of these apps begin to diversify. But yeah, we've got Meta news, we've got TikTok, Twitter, of course, we've got the AI scoop, we've got some sauce snippets.
We have one on Reddit today.
We do. Oh, shoot. You know what? I forgot to include that in the agenda. So this is for the blooper reel. Just kidding. You can include it in the live podcast. Yeah, so we've got Reddit news as well. But let's start off at the top, of course, which Meta has remained such for many years. What is Meta doing in terms of this is like a big slap in the face, by the way, to Twitter. So talk to me about the couple updates we have for Meta this week.
Yeah, they're coming for Twitter. So if Meta didn't already, have enough with buying Instagram, copying TikTok, copying Be Real, and then of course TikTok again, just like copying everything. At this point, what they do, it's just a big copy fest. So it looks like they're trying to take Twitter's place in the social standings. So I guess reports were confirmed this week that, quote, a standalone decentralized social network for sharing text updates is being, I guess, developed by Meta. So I guess they're going to use a similar framework to Mastodon, which we've talked about previously. And maybe it could be a big Twitter rival. Meta believes there's an opportunity for a separate space where creators and public figures can share timely updates about their interest in text form instead of photos. So, I don't know. She's trying to take advantage of the chaos at Twitter and Elon Musk's craziness. I don't see it going well, but we'll see.
Okay, so first of all, Zuckerberg and co are like no strangers to imitating literally all of the apps. I love this mention in the newsletter about we could make a family tree out of like every IP in Silicon Valley that Meta has tried to like replicate. It's early on, it's like Snapchat, it's Be Real, it's TikTok, it's now Twitter, or at least taking the place of Twitter entirely is what it wants to do. So that like one funny aside, is something to consider. The second thing is that Zuckerberg chases like shiny objects. Like we literally were talking about this last week of like he sees something and he's like, let's go. That's why there's so many like product shutdowns on the Meta side of things, where they like start up these sort of incubator programs or, like the neighborhoods, or what is it that they're always like shutting down programs that they start up only to shut down a few months later. So who knows, like, it's hard to believe that this is like a big like push. I do want to say, like, if there's any platform that probably has like the means and the resources to make it happen, to actually like make a dent in Twitter's user share or
It's
market
Meta.
share, then it's
Yeah.
Meta. But like that comes with, again, Zuck and Co. I don't know. It's hard to see both sides. Like, what is with these tech founders? I'm sorry. But like, what the fuck?
My thought would be to focus on making the things you already have or that are performing
Good.
well perform even better. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, fix
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, fix all of her issues because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, and maybe instead of like also pouring all of these like investment and resources into these new products that, I get it, need to make them money, they're literally scraping the pockets now of creators. Like, wasn't don't we have another
Mhm.
update about the Reels monetization program? So it's like they're putting money into other things, and then they're like, "Sorry guys, I know that you're creating content for us."
Yeah, so they abruptly paused or ended their program, their Reels Play bonus program, which was the Instagram Reels program that rewarded content creators when they hit like certain goals for views on their videos. It was like invite only
Mhm.
kind of thing. We've talked about it quite a bit. Actually, one of our clients at the Sauce ended up getting into it. We played around
Mhm.
with it some, and it was decent. It was like, not crazy money, but good enough for the kind of views we were getting. But now they've decided they're not going to offer any new or renewed Reels Play bonus deals. They're only going to honor existing
Mhm.
commitments over the next 30 days. So, of course, this is, frustrating for creators that have seen some huge payouts. We've seen some that have been like tens of thousands of dollars for creators. Over time, those like payments did shrink, but it's still a source of income for people
Mhm.
creating on Instagram. And yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, we're going to pause that because we need to focus our initiatives elsewhere.
I mean, look, like most creators, most content creators, if that's their full-time job, have multiple revenue streams or multiple
Yeah.
income streams. But that's not to say that like one platform won't cannibalize a lot of that for them, and be like a
Hmm.
primary source of income. And I'm sure that for some people, Reels was. And I feel like it was so short that they had this program going like for like a year, maybe a year and a half or something along
Yeah.
those lines, that like I literally remember when we reported on it being a thing, and we're like,
Hmm.
"Oh, this is awesome." Like we could probably dig up the archives of that. And then, to like actually experiencing it firsthand, and now knowing that program is just another one of the many shutdowns that have come with understandable budget cuts, but also kind of just puts a bad taste in my mouth to know that like they're also pivoting to pour a lot of their capital into products that are questionable as to whether they need to exist or not. We'll keep a pulse on it. I'm definitely like waiting for news on this Twitter lookalike app, because you said that they're using Mastodon's like a Mastodon type framework, right? Which is like an
Yeah.
open source, decentralized.
It's the plan right now. Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
We shall see.
We'll keep an ear on it. All right. Well, since I skipped over Reddit early on, let's double back and let's talk about what's happening at Reddit and why it might be time to consider running ads on that platform.
Yeah, so they're going public and they've been revamping their ad offerings to appeal to more advertisers. So I guess, yeah,
Mhm.
it's called Reddit for Business. And the platform is seeing like some new features and targeting options for different businesses and creators. So if you're in the space to advertise your brand, you want to try out Reddit, go for it. And we have a resource linked in here to get started.
Mhm.
But yeah, Reddit looks like the next place to be.
It's a big deal because they're doing so Reddit's going public. I don't even know like if there's been a date set or announced yet.
It is sometime this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so sometime this year, Reddit is having its initial public offering, and that's going to be a big deal for investors to have to prove out this advertising model as a viable source of revenue for the platform Reddit. So they have like a ton of incentive and reason to like continue improving their ad product right now. And I do think that Reddit is like maybe underutilized but high potential marketing platform for the right type of like brand or
Mhm.
creator. It's not the best for everyone. Like, don't get me wrong, like Reddit, I'm a huge Redditor myself. So like I have a bias and like a soft spot for it. But I think that it's important to understand the type of people that are on Reddit and like the types of communities and the fact that a lot of it is more, organic, the system, how it kind of ranks the content, stuff like that, before you're just like, yes, let me go advertise on Reddit. Because it definitely, you'll lose money that way.
Yeah.
But check it out. Yeah, the resource that's linked in here is actually pretty great. They kind of go through all of the different types of ad formats that you can buy into on Reddit right now. It kind of talks through Reddit for Business, the platform, a little bit. It's interesting stuff. And if you do decide to advertise on Reddit, let us know. I would love to talk
Yeah.
to you about it. All right, let's talk about TikTok. What is going on?
They're at the same time that Instagram is pausing, I'm just gonna say ending now, is ending their Reels bonus program. TikTok is introducing a new way for creators to share premium content and charge for it, basically put it behind a
Mhm,
paywall. They're calling
mhm,
it series. So basically, I guess eligible creators can post collections of premium content. So series can include up to 80 videos and each can be up to 20 minutes long. And then creators are able to themselves select how much those series cost. And then they can post that video link to, wherever it is on their Instagram story, or they
mhm.
can cross promote it. And then people can also see that they're selling a series through their profile on TikTok. So I like this one. I think this one's going to be really cool
Yeah, I'm into it.
and a good way for people to bring in money.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah, you could like launch a whole, I don't know, how to get started on TikTok or how I went viral on TikTok, and people pay whatever it is that you
Oh,
charge
yeah.
for
People
that
could
series.
post like mini courses. I mean, it's a great idea. Like, you have so many platforms already that are trying to help monetize creators in serious ways, like what Substack is doing. We recently got into ConvertKit, and that's amazing. Patreon is another one. YouTube is another one. We talked about monetization options last week. Of course, these social platforms, but also just giving people access to like gated content is a big deal. And if you can integrate it directly in the
Yeah.
social platform like TikTok is doing, I can't wait to see it. I was going to say, I also really want to know like what people are charging. Like,
I know, I
is
don't know
it like
yet.
membership based? Is it like one time fee?
I think it's a one-time fee.
Really? Okay.
At least that's what I thought I read. I could be wrong.
It might be. It might be. Either way, we'll definitely like keep a pulse on that one. Tell me about this bold glamour filter. We've
Mhm.
talked about it like 3 weeks in a row, so it's finally time that we like look under the
Like
hood of
talk
this
about it.
thing.
Well, I
Yes.
tried it and it didn't make me look good. I just look like a female like Jesus. I really did. I'm not even kidding. It was so bad.
I love how you led that with I just looked like Jesus, a female Jesus.
It was really bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was just a lot for that. It was just too much. But anyways,
Tell us about it.
so this filter has gone viral. I guess it's
Mhm.
appeared in like over 18 million videos, and of course,
Mhm.
people are talking about it. I saw this one video today where this girl was like holding up a piece of paper that says "I'm not a catfish," and she has the
Yeah.
bold glamour filter on, and then she
And
has a makeup
she's like
wipe, and she's
removing.
wiping at
She's
it.
like,
Yeah, and
I've
nothing's
seen that
coming
one.
off because it's the filter. And that's how good this filter is. So it's using AI capabilities to basically better map your face. So old school filters, or like most of the other filters you see on TikTok, are mapping your 2D face onto a 3D model, which like results in glitches, or like your like eyelashes will come off if you
Mhm.
pass your hand over your face. So this one is like built to stay on your skin. And of
It's
course,
so
there's people
crazy.
talking about, how this could cause body dysmorphia and cause a lot of issues.
It's a problem. Like, I totally see it. I see it from all sides. There's a reason why this filter people are like freaking the fuck out about it. Because not only is it like indecipherable almost, like,
Mhm.
okay, it makes people look pretty fucking glamorous. That's why it's called bold glamour. So whether you're a dude or you're a girl or like feminine side, more masculine, like it picks up on those and sort of like tailors it. Cause like I had my husband do it and he just like looked like a more Fabio version of himself. And then I did it and it gave me like eyelashes and all kinds of shit.
Uh-huh.
The whole thing just blows my mind because it is like so realistic. This is like scratching the surface of what sort of like enhanced realism in filters are becoming even
Yeah.
now. Like, this is like sort of the first move of it, but it would not surprise me if, like a year from now, Zoom and Google Meet have filters like this that you can just use when you're hopping on like a video call with somebody or recording yourself or something. I mean, there already are those capabilities in
Yeah.
many platforms, but like it's just like so hyper realistic. It uses AI to scan your face and to like
Scary.
understand. So like you could literally like close your eyes, you can rub your face. It literally just looks like your hand in front of your face, like none of that
Mhm.
weird glitchiness. So I'm excited to see how some like more of these look. Although I
I'm
do think
sure
that
we'll
they're
see.
like toxic and harmful sometimes when used the
Right.
wrong ways, but protect yourself.
Exactly, yes.
Yes. What else is TikTok up to?
They've added another tool for marketers called Keyword Insights, which I think this might be one of my favorite ones that I've seen them put out. So this one basically helps you find the most popular words that are used in successful ads or successful videos. So you'll be able to see which words are used, and then you can break that down. And that's either if those words are used like in the caption or actually in the
Mhm.
video, like the voiceover themselves in the video. You can filter that based off of days. Basically, it just gives you a great insight into keywords that other people are using on the app that you can then build into your
Mhm.
ads, or maybe even it's just your own videos if you want to rank for those keywords that are ranking
Yeah.
really well at that time.
Dude, this is a tool that I would use even if I wasn't running ads, like just to do some like content research. It is
Hmm.
technically, it searches TikTok's ads database and pulls keywords, but you could still kind of get an idea, especially knowing that like TikTok's ads and like TikTok's whole vibe is very grassroots level, non produced. So, like, you can kind of translate that, even the ads, more easily, I think, over to other platforms just because of the like ephemeral, like funky nature of it all. So I would use TikTok's insights library. What are they calling it? Keyword insights tool.
Keyword Insights, yeah.
Yeah, I would use that just to like search for like content stuff, just like to understand, the language and like positioning messaging with some of it. But I would also use it if I was running meta ads. I use meta ads library occasionally, like come on, they're using TikTok for everything. Like you might
Yeah,
as well just squeeze a little juice out of it. Meta has their own ads library. You can kind of like search the creative and see what other brands have put together. You can look around like categories and things like that. But I haven't played around with the TikTok one yet, so I'm excited to like
to
kind
look
of
into it, yeah.
poke through it and see how it's different. But we also know that like TikTok is always, what is the thing we said, like 2 weeks ahead of like Instagram or something.
Yes, yeah, it's always at least 2 weeks ahead. Yeah,
Right? It would be interesting, like an interesting theory to see like is are ad creatives following suit? Like if
same
you look at the
thing,
ad
yeah.
creatives on Instagram versus TikTok, like do you see a little bit of a slight difference in the vibe and in the style? I don't know. So, we do have Twitter. We do have Twitter to dive into a little bit. Couple
Yay.
little updates. This one
Um
is a big one. Like this whole API debacle, which is a mess. Like tell us what's happening.
Yeah, so basically, the problem is, I guess maybe it's not a problem. It's just Elon is deciding to hike the prices on their API access a
Mhm.
lot. So up until now, Twitter's offered like basic access to their API for free, but last month Twitter's like cutting off that free access tier. Developers will have to pay a minimum of 42K per month to access the small API access package. So, for comparison, under Twitter's previous pricing, the highest tier, like the one that was the premium, was 2,899. Now, the lowest one is 42,000 per month.
That's
It's just
insane.
insane. That big of a difference doesn't make logical sense in my brain, but this is what Elon's deciding to do. So he's hoping that this price hike will cut off some of the API users that'll weed out some of those bots and the bot farms, but that it is also going to cut out like smaller developers and third party apps because that pricing is
Mhm.
it's so crazy. It sounds insane. I can't imagine paying 42K for API access to Twitter. So Tweetbot and Twitterrific have already like shut down because of the new API rules, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more doing the same.
That sucks, man.
It's kind of sad. Yeah.
It's really sad and it really bothers me because this directly impacts a lot of the tools and things that I use. Like if I had to bet some of the like analytics tools that I use for Twitter now aren't gonna like pony up $42,000 or whatever the fuck it is
A
so
month.
that they can
Yeah.
like continue like servicing people when a lot of these businesses that are plugged into Twitter's API are like small businesses or nonprofits or research
Yeah.
organizations or projects or like, you know, different bots for things like there's like weather bots and, you know, all kinds of stuff. So like those are automated based on this API. And if they can't access it anymore, like that, they just go
Mhm.
to die in the
Go
Twitter
away.
graveyard.
Yeah.
So that's like such a bummer. It really makes me think about how some of the bigger like scheduling tools will pivot for Twitter access. Like, does it
Mhm.
mean that, you know, these tools like Hootsuite or Sprinkler or Sprout Social, like all these, like, will they continue to offer Twitter support as an
Mhm.
option for like publishing and analytics? Like, who knows? There's also multiple tiers of levels to the API package I was reading where there's like a small, medium, large where like depending on what you pay is the amount of access that you get to the API. So you might not have like full access which then limits your capabilities of what you can program on the other side of the API. It just sucks all
The
around,
most
man.
expensive one, I just pulled it up right now. The most expensive one is 210K a month.
A month? Yeah,
A
okay.
month.
See, like part of
Who
this is
pays
just like this
that?
is like a manipulation tactic
Yeah.
of a CEO being like, let's just price them out. We don't want people attached to our API anyway. So like if we put the
Yeah,
price
that's
so
what it is.
ridiculously high, no one will do it. And that's
No one
what
will
I feel
join.
like that's the vibe. Yeah, right? Like that's the
Yeah.
vibe a little bit that I'm picking up on.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's ridiculous.
It's a bummer. So if you're listening to this and you're like, that doesn't matter to me because I don't use any like tools. Well, if you have anything that's connected to Twitter, most likely that will
Mhm.
be impacted. So like if
Yeah.
you're logged in or post to Twitter on certain apps and things like that that aren't Twitter natively,
Yeah.
just know
Third
that that's
party,
going to
yeah.
be impacted. Third party. Yep, that's what it is.
Yay.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, Twitter.
Get it together.
That's
Yeah.
that's all I have for you. Cannot give you the time of day. Let's talk about the AI scoop that we've got because we've got a couple
Okay.
of updates. One being Bing.
Mhm.
Tell
Bing,
us the
Bing.
news.
Yeah. So the search engine Bing, which has been mocked and I'm sure not really used for a while up
Hmm.
until now, cleared 100 million daily active users recently.
Ooh.
So, of course, this is, mostly in part to the AI powered Bing chat feature that they released a month ago. I don't think we're really going to start say Bing it instead of Google it because it just
No, do not
doesn't
make it a
sound
thing.
right. Yeah, please, no one make it a thing.
Mm-mm.
So Google still has more than 1 billion daily active users, but Bing is out here. She's moving. She's making
Good for
changes. So
Bing. Well, it's that chatbot, which I haven't
yeah.
even
Oh
used
yeah.
yet. Bing Chat. Have you used it at all?
I
Or are
haven't.
they still like on an invitation list? Because last I checked, I don't know when
I
that
think
was, a couple weeks
I
ago.
know I joined the wait list, but I didn't actually. So this was the one that was Sydney, and we talked about her
Sydney.
a couple weeks
Mhm,
ago where she
mhm,
just
mhm.
started getting creepy and like scary and recommending you send your kids to watch R-rated movies.
Yeah,
And
I
everything is
remember that.
fine. Yeah. So no, I have not signed up to use it yet, but I will try it out and see what she tells me to do with
Yeah,
my life.
I know. I wanna try it too. It's just so hard when, like, ChatGPT is just
It's
there
just
and, like, so
it's easy.
accessible. Although I was playing around in Jasper today, I have to say, and I was like, "Okay, Jasper, you do you." Jasper is living its own life, is like, "Fuck ChatGPT, I can do my own thing
Yeah.
anyways. I am a category of 1." And I have to like say I respect that because they have a really like intense Facebook group that's part like the Jasper community, like the founders in there. And I'm in this group and every day somebody posts about ChatGPT and like why am I still paying for Jasper if ChatGPT is there? And like every day the comment sections just like blow up of like Jasper's something different. It's not ChatGPT. So like I enjoy the commentary on it, but I do see the point. There's a lot of
Mm.
similarities. They're both built on like the GPT-3 model, and that's not going away anytime soon. They're just trained a little bit differently, and I don't know. Jasper has some fun like little features and
Yeah, she does.
frameworks that I'm like rediscovering. After being in my chat GPT era, I'm like now seeing the light of the other side. So
Trying to
it's good
test
stuff.
out other ones. I like Jasper.
Me too.
I'll compare answers sometimes between Jasper and ChatGPT, and I'm like, sorry, Jasper, I have to go with ChatGPT.
I know. I know. That's the problem too, is like I feel like Jasper's writing is better, but its ability to contextualize content and
Mhm.
provide like a comprehensive reply with like minimal input is very limited. Like you
Yeah,
have to really be like working with Jasper to get what you
yeah,
want. But with ChatGPT, it's like you could spell shit wrong and talk like you're,
yeah,
5 years old and it'll
yeah.
like still give you a comprehensive output. It's a little odd. So tell us about what's going on with Slack then, speaking of
Yeah, this one I
ChatGPT.
don't know how it's gonna work out. We're gonna see. But basically, they found a way to introduce AI tools based on ChatGPT into Slack that'll help you like
Mhm.
automate like a unique personal birthday message to your
Mhm.
coworker or help you draft replies, find answers to questions that people are asking you or summarize like long threads or
Mhm.
channels that you've like missed for a couple hours or days. So, if you get that 20-part question from your boss at 4:59, maybe AI will make it easier to deal with and answer in under a minute. But I have the waitlist linked in here. I don't know exactly how it's all going to work, but it sounds kind of cool. As long as the AI in Slack doesn't give us like false info or talk to
Mhm.
us in a strange manner like Blenderbot, this could be a good win for anyone that works at a company that uses Slack.
I
So
love it.
join the waitlist if you have Slack.
Have you ever watched Silicon Valley?
No.
You need to watch it,
Do I
dude.
need
It's
to?
so good.
Okay.
You would
Okay.
really like it. And I think
Okay.
probably if you're listening to this Sauce Pod, you would like it too because it's just about a group of like dudes who start up a tech company in Silicon Valley in the mid 2010s and all the craziness of that. But there's this one episode where Guilfoyle, who's this like programmer dude and like just really, really sharp tech guy, creates an AI bot for his Slack to communicate with other people as him. So everyone thinks that they're talking to him, but it's really like the bot. But then the
Uh-huh.
best part is that like Dinesh, this other guy that you see in the GIF that's in our newsletter, it like creates a bot to creates a bot as well to talk back to him, but neither of them tell the other person that they're bots, and so their bots are talking to each other as themselves, which is just like it's full
That's what's
fucking
gonna
circle, you
happen.
guys. This
Yeah.
whole AI technological singularity concept is like coming for us. And maybe Slack is going to give it to us with some of this. Well, actually, I was going to say, I wish Discord had something like that, but you have an
They do.
update. You have
Yeah,
an
so
update.
Discord is also using ChatGPT's technology to transform. It always already has a bot inside the app called
Hmm.
Clyde, but it's basically going to transform it into like this talkative chat bot that I guess will also answer questions, talk to you, blah blah blah. So it's being upgraded next week
Okay.
for answering questions and having conversations with users. So I guess it is free for Discord users during the public experiment, but I think it's only going to be on a limited number of servers. So it's kind of
Hmm.
like invite only kind of thing. But
Hmm.
then eventually admins on Discord will be able to add Clyde to their servers and allow users to like talk to it or use it in conversations and have it respond to chats with like gifs or recommend music or that kind of stuff. So
I love it.
yeah.
And this is important to note that like all of these new integrations that we're seeing with ChatGPT and all these other platforms are because OpenAI, which is the creative think tank
Mhm.
behind ChatGPT, literally opened up their AI. This sounds like some Alice in Wonderland tale, but it's not. OpenAI opened up their API to ChatGPT. It's too many acronyms, too many
Agreed.
fucking acronyms. And now that's like it's a great thing because like in the open source world, like you can take that API, plug it into your platform and be able to like utilize the framework that's in chat gpt, the underlying language model, in whatever capacity you choose through this integration, right? And so now all of these like products and platforms are like, we now have ChatGPT. So you're going to start seeing it everywhere, like more than you already are, because it's an open source API call now that can be done. And like
Mhm.
even you, like literally, we could create an app right now and have ChatGPT plugged into it because there's really no barriers to it. So it's interesting, but they're going to be everywhere. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to check out Clyde in his all his AI glory when that gets
Hopefully it
launched.
works well.
I'll be looking out. So, Anna, what is this whole situation about 2 ways to get verified on Instagram now? Is that it?
Yeah, yeah.
What is that?
We've talked about it before, and
Mhm.
it's kind of annoying, honestly, because people worked so hard, I think, in the past to get verified because you have to
Oh my god, people are pissed.
yeah, you have to add these links showing, like, from other outside sources that you are a public figure
Mhm.
or you have done something other than just, like, your website, and it was really difficult to get verified for a really long time, and you could reapply after 30 days, and you had to have over 10K followers. There's just a lot of, like, requirements in order to get verified. So there's still that way to get verified. You can still get verified through following all those steps. But now you can also, as we talked before,
Hey.
subscribe for $12 on web or 15 on your phone a month. And this will help creators establish and grow their presence on Instagram and Facebook. So you can do it on Instagram and Facebook, two separate ones like we've talked about before. But it's, you can do it now. It is open now for
Mhm.
Australia and New Zealand. Sorry, I misspoke.
So not in the US yet?
Yeah, if you're in the US, you have to join a wait list and then you can then
Oh.
wait to pay some money.
Oh, yeah.
I just added this in because I feel like it deserved another spotlight with
Yeah.
like,
I mean, creators are pissed.
oh yeah,
People are pissed. Like I've heard some, reels and like just bloggers that I follow. They're like, this is absolutely bullshit. It's the same cycle though that like we literally just went through with Twitter like a couple months ago, where everyone was like, oh, what does that mean? So like the fizzle out is going to happen, and then it'll start to become a little bit more normal, and then of course people will pay into having that verified badge on their
yeah.
profile.
I won't, but yeah.
Yeah, same.
Love
But
it.
yeah, no, it's one to watch. I'm curious if other platforms are going to be following suit. And everything is a subscription-based world
Yeah,
now. We're
yeah,
just here floating around in it. But that's how it works. All right. Well, I think we covered everything from this week's newsletter. There's also, by the time you guys hear this, the week's newsletter will have already been sent out, but you can go back into our Substack archives and see everything that's been published recently after you subscribe. So you can go back through and read this edition of the newsletter. I definitely recommend it. I love the introduction of it, which offers some really good like framework and outline to you, if you will, of like marketing laws of marketing based on a book that Anna's been reading. So glad that we outlined that. You can see the 22 laws of marketing there. You can listen to the latest episode of the podcast. We updated that there. Obviously, not this one, but the one before that. You can dig into all of the different like insights and links and things like that we shared today on today's podcast. So definitely head over to the Sauce FFS. That's like Frank FFS, like Sally.substack.com. You can find our whole Substack there, and you can sign up and subscribe and hang out with us. And
yeah.
once you do, come say hi on Twitter. We'll be there, or on Discord. We're everywhere. We're omnipresent.
We're on all the platforms, including
All of
Reddit.
the platforms. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. All right. Thank you so much, Anna, for taking the time, co hosting with me today, helping edit
Thank
the
you.
newsletter this week. I appreciate you. And we will be back at it next week. So,
Bye,
bye,
guys.
guys. Hey guys, that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Sauce Pod. Hope you enjoyed yourself, maybe even learned a thing or two. Don't forget, you can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also subscribe to our newsletter that goes out every Monday night. All of the latest and greatest tips, news, and trends for content creators and digital entrepreneurs. Until next time, stay saucy.